Okay.
Can you hear me now? Is this okay like this?
Yeah. It's
Do you
okay.
want to see more of me? Should I move the camera down or is it okay?
No, it's okay.
All right, cool. So, Shalawama, everyone. I'm Dr. Yasapa. This is Dr. Yasapa TV. This is our first live video, and I'm on live with a very good friend of mine that I know from back in the day. This is Mile. And we're gonna talk about everything Philippines. Okay. So, Mile, do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Melay, 40 years old. I live in Philippines. And then he's my friend since 2017, isn't it?
2017.
2017? No.
You're,
No.
no, I think maybe
No.
not
when
2017.
did I meet you? When did you go to Valenzuela?
It was 2008. 2008.
Sorry. 2007.
No, I got there in 2008.
Okay, 2008. Because 2006, 2007, yeah, I was in Valenzuela 2007. Then 2008, you enrolled there. Sorry. Yeah. I'm just being nervous. Sorry.
How did you figure 2017? Come on.
Sorry, I'm just being nervous. I just woke up.
2017. Wow.
It's okay.
That's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
how many years I know John?
Yeah, long time. They know me. They don't know me by my English name. They know me by Dr. Yasapa.
Sorry.
That's my what do you call it in Philippines? You know, in Philippines you have your Tagalog name.
Sorry.
Okay. So let's say for Chinese, right? Chinese, they have their Manchurian name, right? They have their Chinese name, and then they have an English name.
Yeah.
Right. So in Philippines, right now, you guys have mostly Spanish names, right?
Yes.
Before the Spanish conquered Philippines, you had indigenous. Or actually you would say autochthonous names. You didn't have Spanish names. That came only as a result of you being conquered, right?
Yeah, it's better like that. I can hear it clearly because if you do like, I cannot really hear it.
So it's better like this. Yeah. So my English name is a name that was forced on my people, right? So I don't use that. I use my Hebrew name, which is Yasapa. So for you in Philippines, like right now you're using Mile. That's not your people's name.
Yes, that's my name.
But it's not from your own people. It's from your conquerors, if you understand me. Like Ascension, right?
Yeah.
And those other Spanish names, those are not your names. You had different names before the Europeans conquered you. But anyway, actually, that brings us into a good topic. Some people might wonder, oh, why does Dr. Yasapa have a Filipino on his show, right? They might wonder, right? So what I would like to do before we get started with the dating in the Philippines and you know, life in Philippines and all of this stuff, let's talk about the original Filipino people and who they were. So do you want me to start it or do you want to pick the conversation?
I can answer that. Who are the original Filipino and why do some Filipinos look Asian?
Okay. So go ahead. You can introduce the topic. Like, who are the original Filipinos?
Is the original people? It's like an Aita, an African people that we conquered.
A little louder, Mile.
Sorry. Okay. Aita, an African people, they were conquered by the Chinese and Japanese which is why the Filipinos look in modern times. They also mix with people from Mikaya, Indonesia, and India while doing the trading.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. So yeah, these are the original Filipinos, right? And as Mile said, they were conquered. They were conquered by the Chinese first. Okay. And they did lots of trade with the Moors. They did lots of trade with the Moors, the European Moors. So in Mile, what people live in southern Philippines? What are they called?
Pardon?
The people in southern Philippines, what are they called?
Southern?
Southern Philippines.
What do you call the Southern Philippines?
Like in Davao, what are the people in Mindanao? Begins with the
yes,
M.
Mindanao.
Begins with M.
It's Ida.
The Moro. Like who are the Moros?
The Moro?
Yeah, who are the Moro people in Mindanao?
You said that.
Moros. Moro. You don't know Moro? M-O-R. The ones who are always fighting.
Try to little bit clear. I cannot hear you clear.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Let me go. So I'm gonna Google it. So let's say Moro, Philippines. And can you see the screen? Do you see where it says the Moros? Okay, the Moro conflict. You know, they're always fighting. The Moros are always fighting in Mindanao.
Yeah.
The Muslims.
Wait lang. Something wrong with my phone.
Okay. The Moro conflict was an insurgency in the Mindanao region of the Philippines and from 1969 to 2019, right? These are the Moro people. You don't remember the Moro? Okay. So anyway, the Moro people are indigenous Filipinos, and then also Moors who escaped Europe during the Middle Ages, and they traveled to Mindanao, which is in the southern Philippines. And so the question is, why did they leave Europe to travel to Mindanao? So my position is, those who left Europe and went to Africa, their people, their families were originally from Africa. Those who went from Europe to the Americas were either coming to the Americas to get free stuff, right? To get free stuff, or because they had family there. Same with Mindanao, Philippines. Those who left Europe to go to the Philippines and Mindanao were going either, why? Because the Filipinos were enslaved by the Spanish for 300, and do you remember, being like 323 years or something like that? The Filipinos were enslaved by the Spanish for 300 plus years. So the Moors escaped Europe and also went to Philippines, southern Philippines called Mindanao. Now, in Mindanao, you have a group of people who are called Moro, or these are Moors. So we also, Mile, we are Moors. The people like me who they classify as being Black, we are also called Moors in my country. So we would be called Moros in my country. But me, I'm autochthonous to the US, but I'm also called Moor because of my color. So this is the connection. Yeah, so you're also a Moor. You're also a Moro, right? So anyway, this is the connection between the so-called American Blacks, the autochthonous or indigenous people like me to the Americas, or they would call us Indians. Okay. So we and Filipino, we are the same bloodline. Historically, we're the same bloodline. So anybody who's going to be offended by this video because they say, oh, Dr. Yasapa is promoting dating Asian people. This video is not for you, because we are the same bloodline. And if you can't understand that, you should go to another channel. But anyway, so with that said, This is a little bit, Mile, kind of hard for people in my country to accept because we
Mm-hmm.
have lots of issues, problems between men and women when it comes to dating. But anyway, I wanted to put that out there so in case anybody might get upset, right? We dealt with it. We're the same bloodline, right? We are
Yeah.
Moors. We are the house of Yasharala. I'll show it at some point later. I'll show it. But right now, let's talk a little bit about these Etta people before we get into dating. So, may I ask you a question? Are these
Just
Etta
hold on.
people?
Can I
Are
close
these?
the windows because the car?
Yeah, and
Hold
people
on.
might be checking you out. People might check you out when you close a window.
No, this one's the window here.
Yeah,
Because
close
did
it.
you hear the crack?
Close it.
The
Yeah,
crack?
but we're okay, but we're gonna see
Yeah.
everything on your camera.
Sorry.
It's good. It's good. Everybody got to see what you look like now. Yeah. So I have some question for you. So Mile, are these the Moro people from the Philippines? Are these correct pictures
Yes. And then some is that you can see in Baguio also.
in Baguio also?
Yeah, they have in Baguio.
Okay, so also in Mindanao, right? Can you tell
Yes,
what
yes.
Mindanao is? How big is Mindanao? Do you know?
Mindanao is not really big because
Let's see. Let's look at the population.
not
Let's see.
not like as Luzon.
Mindanao,
That's the bigger one.
Mindanao population. Let's see. 76 million? Oh no, of the total set. No, yeah, okay.
Mm.
Okay, so it says 24% were living in Mindanao. So that's not correct because the current population of the Philippines is about 100 million or
Yeah.
108 million. Let's see, population of Philippines. 108 million in 2019. Okay, so
But
let's
now,
say that Mindanao. See everybody. So if Mindanao is 24%, it's roughly what? It's roughly 27, 28%, roughly 28 million,
yeah.
right? Roughly 28 million ETA people like this in southern Philippines that never make it into the US. Mile, in the US, all Filipinos, they look more Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why people would be shocked to see that these are Filipino. So Mile, how did these people, just to repeat, how did these people go from looking like this to looking like, let's say, a Filipino that we would see in the US? Not like you because you don't look like a Chinese person, right?
Yeah, I mix little bit. Just
What are you mixed?
25%.
Oh, you're mixed 25%.
Yeah, only because my dad's half India and then half Filipino. So my dad
Okay.
is kind of like 50% from India and then 50% from Filipino. So I'll get me 25%.
Okay, so let me see. So these are all ETA people, is that correct? These all look like the ETA?
Yeah.
And these are the original Filipinos, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one also.
Okay, so now let's take another look let's Google search Filipino. And I want to ask you another question. Okay, so how did the people go from looking like ETA to looking like this?
Yeah, because some Filipinos they look like that. Some looks like Chinese. Some
So
is they have white skin, right? Tan
Yeah.
skin.
How did that happen? How did they go from looking like the ETA to looking like you're
As I
saying?
said, they also mix. Yeah, as I said, they always mix with people from Kaya, right? And then
Okay.
Indonesia and India while
Okay.
doing trade here.
Okay, so that happened as a result of Chinese conquest, right?
Mhm.
When China came and they conquered Philippines.
Yes.
And before that, there was trading going back between Philippines and the entire world because the Moors traded international commerce with the entire world, right? And the Etta and the Malaysian people mix, the Etta and the Indonesian people mix. So the Malaysian and Indonesian are also part of the original stock of the Filipino, as I understand, right?
Yes.
And then came the China and conquered, then came the Japanese, conquered, and then the Americans. And what happened as a result is you have Filipinos who are looking, not all, but the ones we see on TV are looking very Asian looking, like that. They're looking like this. But the blood behind them is really the Etta, right? And the Indonesian.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So I just wanted to show that so people can see the relationship. So now we can have a nice discussion about dating Filipinas or dating Filipino men or dating Filipino women. So, and there should be no problem about mixing now. Anyway, so, oh, here's another picture. But here's an Etta looking little girl right here, right?
Yeah, that one you can see in community, in some in Baguio.
Oh, that's Baguio?
Yeah.
Okay, so this little girl, you can still see some Etta.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
this is the Filipina type we see in the US, this space right here. They don't show these, Mile. They don't let these into the country.
No, that is a famous in Baguio, honestly. If you go there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't let that one into the country.
They are famous.
Only the Chinese looking ones are getting into the US. But anyway, so let's get into our discussion now that we got that over. I don't really like to have that discussion because people want to always fight about this topic. And, So anyway, so tell me, so you're a Filipina, and I'm not gonna like ask you very personal questions, but just from your experience. No personal questions, but you can get as personal as you want. But let me ask you, and if you don't want to ask a question, if you don't want to answer, just say you don't want to answer, okay?
No, it's okay. No problem.
Okay, so let me ask you, why is it that so many men, no matter what country, all over the world, so many men want to date a Filipina? What is it about Filipino women that so many men desire them?
Filipino women's kind of like, we are like a family oriented. Right? We really important to me the respect. That's the number one, respect. And then we love to take care of our kids. You know, our husband. We really attach to the family. We are kind of like that.
Okay, and what else?
Yeah. But it's before, for me, and then that's all.
No, there's more. There's more. What else is it about Filipinas that so many men? I mean, I don't care what continent. The Americans, no matter what color, black or white, they're all trying to run to the Philippines and find a girlfriend or a wife. Online dating, right? Or they travel some go once and then they come back every summer for the next 20 years. There are people from all over Europe, Belgium, Hungary, UK, Sweden, every country, everybody's flocking to the Philippines, trying to.
And then,
why is that? Other than family, so family orientation is one.
Yeah, and then the tradition, the culture here in Philippines, we love we love fiesta, we love karaoke.
So for people who don't know, what is karaoke?
Karaoke is kind of like you sing a song, even though you don't have a nice voice. We don't care. We love to sing. and then,
So
and then
when you're singing, what else are you doing?
when I'm singing,
What else?
honestly, while ago we do karaoke with my friends.
So this is what I've seen when I was in the Philippines. When the
Mm.
Filipinos they karaoke, it's them and a group of friends, right? And then
Yes.
they're drinking beer, Red Horse, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's drinking and having fun and singing, right? And some
hmm
people sound really terrible, but nobody cares.
Yeah. Nobody care, even though you have a nice voice. But so many Filipinas, they have a really nice voice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And Filipino also is kind of like, even though we have a problem, you will see
Yeah.
us smiling. You
Yeah.
never see us like feeling sad, depressed. No, we are not like that. Very strong.
What about in the family? What do Filipino women do in the family? Let's say like for example, like the gender roles, like cleaning the house or washing the clothes. What is it that the Filipino woman does so that people can have an idea and compare it to what, let's say, a woman in the U.S. might do, or a woman in England or Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
Why are men choosing to not take a woman, let's say in Sweden, but they want to get a family with the woman in Philippines, other than
And
family
little
orientation and family
little
partnership?
bit near your screen so I can hear you clearly.
Oh, I
Yeah.
said, what about the relationship itself? Like, what is the woman doing for the man
Mm.
in terms of the role of a woman? What does she do in the household? What is the woman doing actually in the household?
Okay. As me, huh?
Yeah.
For me, yeah, I'll do cleaning sometimes in
Yeah.
one time. You need to clean, you need
Cleaning.
to cook. Yeah.
Okay.
Cook in the
Cooking.
same time. We
Yeah.
kind like lots of hands. While you're cooking, you will do your laundry. Sometimes you do
Uh-huh.
your washing while you're cooking. And then you're
Uh-huh.
cleaning the house
Yeah.
while you're doing your cooking in the same time.
It's every day or
Every day. And then if you do laundry, it's kind of like at least twice a week.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that most women are doing that or is that
Most of
true?
women.
Most women are doing that. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe the men like that aspect too of being with the Filipina. And maybe that's why they prefer to get a woman in Philippines than let's say a woman in a Western country, because women in the Western country, they don't do that. At least not consistently every day, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
What else? Just let me know.
oh, so what about when do Filipino women argue with their boyfriend or their husband? How does that go?
Oh, arguing.
Yeah, how does
For
that
me,
work?
yeah. For
Yeah,
me, if I want to argue, I don't
yeah,
want to argue in front of my kids.
uh-huh,
Yeah. If you really like to argue, I don't want yelling also.
uh-huh.
It's better to go in a private rooms, kind of our room, and then we're gonna talk about the problem, but not yelling. Because
Okay.
we cannot understand if everyone's yelling, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Do Filipinas yell? How do Filipinos respect the man, or are they challenging the man's authority? How does that work in Philippines? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, you need to respect the woman first. So that way they will
So
give you respect.
tell us what it means so people can understand. What when you say respect the woman first, what does that mean?
Yeah, respect. Kind of like
Give us an example.
Look, basic on my experience.
No, well, it can be your experience or your friend's experience, or what's common. Like what's common?
What?
The common,
Pardon, please.
huh?
Pardon. I cannot hear you.
Common. What's common? What's a common example
Oh,
that
it's the
happens almost
common.
everywhere? Yeah.
Yeah. In Philippines, but I
Mhm.
don't know. Some people, if they are fighting, they don't care, even though, even though in the public they are fighting, they are, keep saying
Uh-huh.
something not nice, so
Uh-huh.
mean.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, some people, not
Yeah.
all, not
Okay.
all people,
So
kind of.
is the Filipino woman supportive, like emotionally supportive, warm, likes to hug and hope, or is the Filipino woman more wants to be away from her man?
Uh, Actually, Filipinas very sweet.
Very sweet.
The men, yes. And then we really appreciate even the simple things. You just give him a example. If I'm mad or I'm in a bad mood, just give me a
Yeah.
cup of coffee. I'm happy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
very.
right.
Yeah, Filipinas kind of like even simple things they're really appreciated.
Okay. So what kind of man does a Filipino, well, what are the different personality types of Filipino women? And then what kind of man does a
Okay.
Filipino usually want? What are the expectations they have of a man? Let's say to be a
Okay.
boyfriend or a husband.
If boyfriend, just boyfriend, okay. But if
Oh,
you
wait,
are
wait, wait. But first, okay, go ahead. I have another question. I have another question. A boyfriend first.
boyfriend first, okay. If boyfriend first,
Yeah,
we are dating. Yeah,
yeah,
some's dating, and then some is kind of like a example. Boy, okay, I'm gonna treat you in a cinema, and then sometimes as a woman,
yeah,
she's the one treating you for lunch or for your dinner.
yeah.
We sharing every time we going
Uh-huh.
out. Yeah, like that.
Okay,
And then
and then what else? Like, what is courting? Like, for example, in my country, people don't court, but in Philippines, people court. So, what does it mean to court a woman? Like the man has to court the woman in Philippines. What does that mean? Like, what does he have to do?
cord or comfort.
Court. When the man is in Philippines, the man has to court the girl, right? He has to court her. But what does
Mm,
that mean? Because in my country, we don't court.
we don't
Like
court.
what is courting when you're dating? What is courting? What does a man have to do? Courting.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, courting. Maybe different is courting.
Mhm.
Okay, it's kind of the marrying. Intention of marrying? You mean?
No, just like
No.
in Philippines, people have to court. Like if you like a girl, you have to court her. So
Okay.
what does that mean?
If
What
you
does it
like
mean?
the girl, if
Yeah,
you really like the girl as a man,
yeah.
sometimes they always visiting you at your place and then
Okay.
talk to you. And then for respect, they will talk to your mom. Yeah.
That's what courting is.
Yeah. You cannot talk with the other guy in a public, you
Uh,
need to tell that to your parents. So at least your parents know about that.
and so once
Right?
you court her, what's the next step after courting?
Well, the next step after that, of course, the guy is always visiting there, right?
Yeah.
Then
Visiting where? Visiting her home.
at home, actually, the guy sometimes they bringing some food.
Oh, really?
They
To
bring
her,
some.
to her home, to her home.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Hmm. And then they will talk to your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will talk about it, about you, about your about your family, what's going on,
Yeah.
like that.
Do they eat
Tell the story.
together and dancing, party, or how is that part of courting too? Or
Actually, not really party with drinks. Some they do that, but some is kind of like a food only, and then use.
so no dancing, no like
No,
dancing in the house apart. Just more.
not
Is it formal or informal?
no, not really like that.
It's very relaxed.
Yeah, not really like that. Yeah, and then and then they telling about their family. Yeah, my mom is like this, my dad, I have two brothers, kind of like that.
So how long does that courting? How long does courting last before it can move to the
Some they
next
do
phase?
like 1 month, 2 months.
One.
Yes.
Oh, so once you finish courting, like how do you know that the courting was successful and how do you move forward?
Okay. If they found it that your family, oh, this guy is okay for you, right? Like that. And he's kind of like, kind of kind person, respecting. Yeah. And then that way you will say yes.
Oh, okay. So your parents just have to say, I like him.
Yes, they will tell to you, I like this guy, like that.
And then if they like you, so what's the benefit of, so you're done courting and now she's your girlfriend or?
Yes.
Really?
That way,
so what's the difference? What does the guy get more?
Not really give more. And then sometimes if we have a relationship, the girl is going to the guy's house to meet their parents also, and then we do same thing. We bring some food also, like that.
Okay. So courting is like the trial, like the 30-day free trial. Courting. And then
it's
after
kind of like to start to know each other, like that.
And then after courting, you have something. So now it's your girlfriend and you just continue visiting the home and getting to know the parents. And then, so at what point do people usually get married, or how does that work? Like, let's say there's some guy in America and he meets a Filipina and he's courting her. Let's say they met on Facebook or whatever.
See, for my experience again. But at least good, right? For my experience. Yeah, as a dating site, I experienced that.
Yeah.
I was talking with a guy. I think before, for 4 months.
On Facebook?
5 months. Yeah, no, not on Facebook, dating site.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then, for 4 months, 5 months chatting, and then he was visiting here, and then meet him. But for me, as a Filipina, I don't go to the room.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just waiting in the lobby.
What country was he from?
USA, California.
Okay. So some men are willing to leave to fly to Philippines to actually meet the woman that they're dating, that they like online. Some men are willing to do that. Oh, okay. So that's really real, huh? Okay, I didn't know that. So okay, so what happened next? So you met this guy. He flew all the way from the US. He flew all the way from California to meet you. Wow. That's pretty amazing. And so tell us what that was like. Typically, how does that happen?
Yeah, I met him, but I honestly, as a Filipino, right? I don't go to his room. I'm just waiting in the lobby for respecting, right?
How many days did he stay in the Philippines? How long was he there?
He was stay here for 10 nights. 5 nights first. 5 nights. Yeah.
So he met your parents. He met your mom, and so he went through the whole courting thing.
Yeah, he met my parents.
Okay, all right, okay. So I see. And what's the difference? I mean, Well, so why do Filipina like American men? What is it about American men that Filipinas like?
Can I tell the truth?
Yeah. Tell the truth. Yeah. Tell the
Okay.
truth.
Before, because some Filipino, okay, some
You say
Filipino,
Filipino, they don't know what that means. So are you talking
yeah,
about Filipino men?
yeah.
Okay.
We compared Filipino and American.
Okay. You
Okay.
what? You
For
what?
we compared.
Okay, you
Example,
compare.
for my experience, like before, for Filipino.
Yeah.
Did I tell the truth?
Yeah, but Filipino means a Filipino man, right?
Yeah, Filipino men.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. For my experience for Filipino men, I have a bad experience. So
Uh,
that's why I choose different nationality.
why you have a bad, if you don't mind me asking, I'm curious. Is it because you're mixed or what?
No, I
Why?
mean, some Filipino have a good attitude, but some Filipino men, no.
Okay, so what's their attitude? What's their attitude? What's their
Okay.
attitude?
Some Filipinos can, if they are really jealous, super
Really jealous?
jealous.
Yeah.
Sometimes like even though you have a boyfriend and girlfriend, sometimes like you feel like in a cage, you know what
Yeah.
I mean. Some
Yeah.
is like they hurting you bad.
Oh, so are they always cheating? Does the Filipino man
And
always
then
cheat?
some is cheating. Yes, some is cheating.
Always
Example, like if
cheating?
you're working, right? If you're
Yeah,
working
yeah,
in a how to say that, in the department store, you're working, right?
yeah,
So if you are late, kind of like 15 minutes late, 20 minutes
yeah,
late,
yeah.
they say something like, oh, you have a boyfriend? Did you meet your boyfriend there? Another boyfriend like that. They thinking about that, even though you're so honest. Yes.
It's funny because I know Pinoy Filipino men. They remind me of men in my
Mm-hmm.
country who look like me. They remind me. I don't know if you remember, but I used to tell you that Filipinos remind me so much of American people, American Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Only difference between a Filipino to me, between a Filipino in America and in the Philippines is the height. Otherwise, the same.
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then like when you karaoke, some Filipinos they have like extremely beautiful voices.
Mm-hmm.
Like can you hear me? Extremely beautiful voice. Some Filipino when they sing, or Filipino when they sing, or when they
Mm-hmm.
dance or play sports, they're
So,
just like they're just like us, but only shorter. You know, so
yes.
and I was so like amazed at the similarities, and also on the bad side too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bad side of Filipino, it reminds me so much of my people in my country, so similar. but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so okay, so now let me ask you this. Okay, so we got to
Okay.
talk about online dating, right? Because everybody on the internet talks about online dating and dating Filipinas, right? And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of scammers. So what's that
Yes,
all about?
it's true.
What's that all about?
Scammer.
Your online dating and scammers. Like, how do you know if a Filipina is a scammer? Let's say
Okay.
you really want to meet a Filipina, you really want to go visit her. How do you know she's just not, trying to scam? By scammer, what we mean is a person who's trying to get you to give them money.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So how do you know she's not a scammer?
Okay.
What are the warning
You
signs?
will know the Filipina if it's scammer, okay?
Mhm.
So number one, if they do chat, you chatting with him, right? And then
Yeah.
the Filipina is kind of like asking you about money for help.
All the time, or how does that work?
It's kind of like the example. Some Filipina they doing like it's not really true. Example, oh, my family he was sick like that. and then I have a problem for my billings, blah blah blah, like that. So it looks like she asking you for money.
So what are some common scams? Do you know of any common scams? Common scams.
Common scam.
Yeah.
For
Like,
Filipina?
What are the common ones, if you don't mind? If you
common,
know. Yeah.
Example, if you are having a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And then this guy is kind of like even though he's so mean to you, like that. And then the Filipina, they don't care. She doesn't care even you hurt her because you have a money. You can give everything to her. So she doesn't care about that. What are you saying? What are you talking about? Even though you hurt her, she doesn't care about that. Because they love you only your money, not
right. Okay. Yeah. What about if I'm looking at a Filipina's Facebook page? Is there anything are there any warning signs? Like if you're looking at her Facebook page that she's a scammer, what would be one or two or a few warning signs?
So, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because honestly, some is they using fake account.
Oh,
fake
so they
photos. It will happen not only for foreigner. It will happen sometimes to Filipino to Filipino.
Oh,
sometimes
really?
Like the Filipinos working in abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that.
So the person will have they'll have a whole lot of Facebook accounts with different names. Is that what you mean?
Different name,
different pictures,
different photo. Yeah. Okay. It happens not only for foreigner.
Oh, it's only foreigner.
Yeah.
So now you have an idea of what to look out for if you see a Filipino on Facebook, right? And you see an account that looks like what we're talking about now, you should suspect that might be potentially a scammer. Okay, so what are some of the
and then this one I will tell you something, but I heard this one from my friend. Example, they have a friend, foreigners, right? Example, Japanese, and then the Japanese living here in Philippines, and then the Filipina, everyone knows that she was married to Filipino. So if the Japanese came here and then the Filipino husband, they go somewhere and then they live together, Japanese and then the Filipina. Yeah. Now, if the Japanese go back to her home and then this Filipino go back to his house with the Filipina. It's like that. Happen also here.
Oh, so she's gonna say she's got a baby, and then the Japanese guy is gonna have
this
to spend
Japanese
money.
guy doesn't know.
Right. But the baby is the Filipino's baby. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
It's kind of like this Japanese. They thought she's single, but she's not single.
But her Filipino boyfriend knows what she's doing.
Yes.
Wow. That is quite a scam. So the Japanese guy is going to think the baby is his, and he's going to be sending money for the next 20 years.
Yes. Right.
Wow.
I think honestly, maybe I don't know if how many percent for Filipina, example for LDR, long distance relationship. Yeah. They really true to their boyfriend.
Oh, right, yeah.
Only few Filipinas like that.
So how does
long distance relationship?
Only a few Filipinas are true if it's an LDR, long distance relationship. Only a few of those women are faithful. So how do you suggest, let's say, because there's a lot of men who really want to have a woman, who's like you said, stays home, cooks every day, takes care of the house, and doesn't argue and fight. So how does a man, when he meets a woman, does he have to go to the Philippines, or does he have to bring her to his country? How have people worked that out in the past?
Again, pardon.
Oh, okay. So let's say a guy meets a Filipina and he really likes her.
Yeah, foreigner, okay.
Yeah. Foreigner meets a Filipina, he really likes her. How does he make the relationship work? What does he have to do so that she's happy and so she's faithful? Does he have to move to the Philippines or does he have to bring her to his country? Like how do
Okay.
they yeah.
Okay. So sometimes a foreigner, they will come here, right? Visiting here in Philippines
Yeah.
if they have a long distance relationship, right?
Yeah.
And then if they are really single, they can do, K1 visa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind
a
of like,
K1 visa.
yeah, K1 visa. So
Okay.
K1 visa, so you're gonna marry her at least 90 days
Oh,
in
really?
the other, yeah, 90
Okay.
days, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you marry her.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
So
for LDR. But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead.
yes, and then for me, actually,
Yeah.
you know, I was I was married to Filipino, but my annulment was denied.
Right. Oh, you know what? Talk a little bit about getting
You do
married
want to
in the
talk about
Philippines.
annulment?
No, not yours, not yours. Just the
No.
process. For example, what's the what well can a foreigner marry a Filipina in the Philippines?
Yeah, for 90, California, yeah. US, they can marry the Filipina if she's single. He can marry it here in Philippines.
Right. But let's say a foreigner wants to go to the Philippines. He meets a woman, he falls in love, and he wants to marry her. Can he marry her while he's in
Yes,
the Philippines?
yes.
Okay. Now, what's the downside? What is there any problems with that, or is that good?
It's okay to marry the foreigner here.
In the Philippines, it's
Yeah,
okay.
in Philippines.
Is it better to do it in the foreigner's country, or is it better to do it in the Philippines?
No, they can do here, and then later on they can marry there also in other
Uh,
country. Yeah.
Okay. So they won't
So
have legal problems, no legal problems.
no problem. As long as the Filipina is single, okay?
But what if
No
she's
problem.
not single? What if she let's say has a husband, but they're separated for let's say 5, 6 years. They haven't been together. Then what?
If separated and they're not really married, no problem. But if the Filipina is married, she cannot
Yeah.
marry the foreigner because she need to file annulment case before
Why
she do
can
it.
she get divorced?
No divorce here in Philippines, just annulment.
No, no divorce.
No divorce here.
Wait, what? So what's the difference
Only
between
one
the?
country, no divorce. Only Philippines. All country they have divorce.
Wow. So what is annulment? Like, what's the difference between annulment and divorce?
Okay, divorce is more easy, right? Just only this you need signatures. Not like
Yeah.
annulment. Example, you're gonna file case like psychological incapacity.
Yeah. Or you have to have a reason to get out of the marriage.
Yes, I have that one. Psychological incapacity.
So what? So can the judge deny? Can the
Yes,
judge?
almost 16 years. I was separated to the Filipino guy. I was 18 years old that time when I was married, and then honestly, no internet that time, no cell phone,
Right. Right.
no no camera. So that time
Six,
I was
16 years you're not together.
yes, 16 years, almost
Wow.
17 years.
And
But
and and
my annulment was denied.
what? Why? That's crazy. Who
And then
denied
takes
it?
for
Wait,
4 years.
did your husband fight, or
No,
he wanted also?
he's not
So who
fine.
did? So the court denied it?
Yes, because
Oh, really?
honestly, it's really difficult for my situation before. No cell phone, right? And
Yeah,
then no internet, no
yeah,
cameras. So
right.
it's really difficult to to im- to improve that the psychological incapacity. It's really
Oh,
difficult.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to prove it, and
Yeah, you
because
need to
the
prove.
technology wasn't there, you didn't have the ability to prove it because no cell phone at that time.
Yeah, at that time, and then honestly, my time before, like when I was young, we
Yeah,
really like. I have a simple life. We are happy, but everything,
yeah,
we
yeah,
we playing it outside.
yeah.
Not like before, you playing gadget, computer, right?
Uh-huh,
All
uh-huh.
kids they do that. 3 years old they can do that. But
Yeah,
before we
yeah,
really don't have that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So we really kind of like super innocent. Not
yeah,
like now,
yeah.
3 years old, 4 years old, not really innocent for the gadget.
Wow. So
Yeah.
is Philippines is a Catholic country,
Yes.
correct? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why no divorce.
Yes.
Ah, wow. That
Mm-hmm.
seems so unfair. Not
Yes.
not unfair, but like oppressive. Because
Nobody's perfect, right?
yeah, but if two people don't get along, why
Mm-hmm.
you force them to stay married, maybe they're gonna kill each other. Or maybe the children are going to be damaged because of the fighting in the family, you know?
Yeah.
Why not let the people go? You know, let them.
Actually, we trying to do the divorce bill.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm in a group of divorce bill also. Sometimes I was comment there, what happened to my annulment. I was sharing my experience.
You know, you don't have to tell your personal stuff if you don't want to.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm open for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Supposed to be, I was have interviewed that before, but that
Yeah.
time I was canceled. He want to ask about my annulment case, what's going on, what happened, and that time like he was super busy, and then yeah, we canceled the interview that time.
Yeah. Okay. So
Suppose I really like to blog my annulment case. What happened?
yeah, you should because lots of people don't know this, but it's so important.
Yes,
It's so important, right?
yes. Sometimes they comment how much the annulment case, how much to file the annulment case, like that.
Yeah. And how long, right? How long?
How long? Yeah,
And
sometimes
what
they
if the
don't comment
judge
it.
says no? Then what? What's the next step? If the
Mm,
judge says no, what do you have to do? All of
yeah.
this stuff, right? Yeah. You
Even
should blog. You should blog that. You should
yeah,
blog
and then
that.
sometimes like they told like 6 years separated, they told like annulment, they will grant it. Then
You know,
I
I
said,
bet you, Mile, I bet you there are lots of men who have Filipina they want to marry, and
"Mm,
they're in the same position, but you've already gone through it. I'm sure they would be willing to pay you to teach them what to do, right? Help them find the lawyer, help them go through the process because the lawyers will cheat you, right? But
yeah,
you've been through it, and you know step by step what to do. And if these foreign men know you, right, and they know that they can save money by hiring you, and you tell them step by step what to do, right? You're not acting as a lawyer. You're just what
yeah,
giving them friendly advice, and they pay you for it. I'm sure that they would do it. Lots of men have Filipina that they want to marry, and they can't, right? Because the whole annulment process. So
yeah.
you become very popular. I think you help a
Mhm.
lot of people, you know,
Yeah.
and you can make money doing that, and people would love you for helping them. You should really do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So everybody, reach out to Mile. Reach out to Mile if you have an annulment situation, a woman who needs to end a marriage with someone in the Philippines, and you need advice on how to get the annulment process started. And then once you actually file your annulment case, what to do step by step, what to expect at each phase, Mile can help you because she's been through it, right? And it's a very frustrating, and it can be expensive, right? It can be an
Yeah.
expensive experience.
Expensive.
So you can make this whole process easier if you reach out to Mile, and she'll help you because she's been through it, you know.
Yeah.
So she knows, and she knows how to document what you need to do to document your case, right? And then how to file it, how to find the lawyer, right? Because you need a lawyer you can trust. And if you're a foreign guy, you don't know the lawyers, and they're going to treat Mile differently than they're going to treat you, right? And they'll treat Mile differently than they'll treat your Filipina girlfriend, because your Filipina girlfriend is not going to know anything. Whereas Mile knows, and she can talk to the lawyer, and the lawyer understands that she knows what she's talking about. So the lawyer is going to have to be more fair because Mile knows the process, okay? So reach out to Mile for your annulment questions. Okay, so Mile, I got another question for you. Or do you have time? Do you have to go, or do you have more time? Do you have to go, or do you have more time?
Actually, this is interesting. Super
hey,
interesting.
Mile, you're cheese mosing about yourself.
Good thing my dental is like a cancel for tomorrow. Tomorrow, what time now? It's 12.
Okay, so I have another question for you about, so what about this, right? So the man meets a Filipina online, because everybody's doing everything online, right? Let's say he meets her on the dating site. How does a man look at a dating site? Like how can he know if the woman on the dating site is a scammer? Let's say not just Facebook, right? But are there any signs that the woman he's looking at on the dating site is a scammer, or are there no signs?
Okay. If really like a no scammer, example, they starting you chatting, right? If this woman's kind of like not asking you for help, or some money, that's not scammer.
Like almost immediately.
Yeah, honestly, some Filipina, they're looking for the relationship, like really super commitment relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about this? Let's say you meet the Filipina, right? You meet her, and how do you know if she really likes you, or maybe she's talking to 10 other men? How do you know she really likes you?
If she really likes you.
Yeah, how do you know?
If this guy, like example, you meet the Filipina, right? Yeah. And then, because sometimes while you're doing chatting, example, some Filipina, while you're doing chatting, even though you are in a chatting, you have a relationship. Like example, chatting first for how many months, and then suddenly have a relationship. Yeah. And then they meet together, and then trying to know each other in the real person, right?
So how do you know if she cares for you, or you cannot tell?
No, if this Filipina keep chatting with you, that is the reason. Yeah.
Oh, if she keeps chatting with you, then you know.
Yeah, she really likes you.
Really? So if a person wants to go to the Philippines and they want to stay, like, what's the cost of living, let's say, to have a place to live in a safe place that, that's a nice place, a decent place?
Yeah.
Like how much do they need to spend, let's say, total budget for 1 month?
Okay. Ask my budget. About my budget.
Don't tell your budget. Don't tell your budget. But let's say the foreigner wants to go to, let's say he's on vacation and he wants to stay there, let's say 30 days or even 3 months.
Or 1 month.
Huh?
Okay. If you stay in hotel, that is more expensive because you're gonna pay for per night, right? So if you stay in condominium for 1 month, you can renting the condominium kind of like 20,000.
What's 20,000? 20,000 what?
20,000 pesos for 1 month. So it's kind of like 400.
So what are pesos?
Yeah, for peso or for dollar?
No. What peso is the money in Philippines, right?
Yeah, pesos, it's kind of like 20,000 pesos for 1 month and up, like 30,000 pesos.
So how much is that in US dollars?
In US dollar, let me check.
Approximately.
Yeah. It's kind of like a five.
Or what's the exchange rate?
$500.
Okay, for 1 month rent.
Yeah, for 1 month rate or $600.
Okay, so does that include electricity, air conditioning, internet, or is that separate?
No, electricity, it's not included. That is for renting. But
the condo.
Yeah, $600 is kind of like if you want to renting fully furnished condominium.
Okay, so $500 to $600 for a fully furnished condo so that's furniture, internet service, and air conditioning, correct?
Yeah.
Or no? Mm-hmm. Okay, so how much would they have to expect to pay for, let's say, electricity per month?
Electricity, if you're always using aircon.
Yeah.
So that way you're gonna pay $200.
So when you say always using aircon, you mean 24 hours a day or 12 hours a day?
For my
really?
experience,
It costs that much in Philippines to use the air conditioning? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about cell phone service? What about to buy data or load so that they can have a cell phone? How much is that?
Actually, you don't need load if you have a Wi-Fi. So 500, 1,000 monthly, it's okay. But if you have Wi-Fi, you're gonna pay like 1,500 a month.
Okay, so but what about if you want to go outside and you want to, let's say you have your cell phone and you want to be able to get on the internet? How much is that going to cost for 1 month?
If you have a cell phone and then you want to go outside?
Yeah.
1,000 pesos for 1 month, it's fine.
Oh, really? Okay, so how much is $1? What's $1 equals how many pesos these days?
$1 is like 48 pesos.
Oh, really? It's 48 pesos?
Yeah.
Okay. So 48 pesos for every $1 right now. But it changes, right?
Yeah, it depends for change rate. Sometimes 47 and then sometimes 49. It depends.
Does it go to 50 plus anymore or no more?
No, before that time, no pandemic, it's kind of 50, 51.
Yeah,
for the change rate.
So for pandemic, what did it go to?
It's kind of like not really good now. 48 for change. Really?
Yeah. So how much would you say for entertainment, like going out to eat? Let's say you get the girl, right? You're gonna take her to dinner. How much does it cost to take the girl to like a nice dinner or to the disco bar?
Pub.
Yeah, the pub. How much?
Restaurant.
How much does the entertainment?
Huh?
Yeah. So the guy wants to get the girl, right? So he's gonna take her to dinner. He's gonna take her to the disco bar or pub, coffee shop. So
if coffee shop, it's not really expensive. But if you really want to go coffee shop, you want to go to restaurant for the steak, you know how much steak here, and then for the movie, maybe at least you need $200 for that, but less
for
1 month.
For 1 month.
Yeah, for 1 month.
Yeah.
Actually, if you always go, it's really expensive, right? At least once a week.
But let's say the guy is on vacation and he's just gonna stay. Let's say
for vacation,
2 months. 1 month, 2 months. So how much does he need to budget? Because he wants to like be with the girl and whatever, he's on vacation, so he's trying to have fun. So he's gonna spend a little more. How much do you think for a vacationer, for a tourist, right? Does he need to like have fun and really impress the girl, or
if you really if you really like having fun, $100 you're gonna spend
a night? Oh, okay. So that is expensive.
If you always go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he needs to have money prepared. If he's gonna party every night, he needs to have money
every night,
prepared,
huh?
budgeted.
Yes.
Yeah, because you know, tourists, when the guys go to Philippines, they like to go
Yeah.
drinking.
Honestly, if
Yeah,
my ex before, my ex,
yeah.
he really wants to take me in a expensive restaurant, but I'm the one I don't like to go there because it's too much expensive. It's okay for me the cheapest one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So did you ever take him to like a canteen, or did he experience a canteen or?
You know, sometimes the steak,
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
saw the price 1,500, I cannot eat this one. I'm
yeah.
gonna
It's
choose
too much.
maybe pasta for
It's too
me.
much. Yeah.
It's okay for me, pasta, and then you can eat steak.
Did your ex-boyfriend, did he ever get to experience like a canteen, like outside of like,
Oh, canteen.
you never experienced a canteen?
You never experienced.
No.
But
I
the
ate at many
Japanese one,
canteens because the canteens are like right outside of the hospital. So I ate a lot of canteen food. I have another question for you. So what about like transportation? Like what's a Jeep? Like what are the transportation options? Jeep, tricycle, taxi, whatever. And then how much does he need to budget for that?
taxi. It depends if you will go a little bit far. It depends for the meter. Some they
Yeah.
start the meter now kind of like 43 pesos, and then additional 2 pesos for the minutes.
Okay,
Example, if
the taxi meter starts at about two US dollars. Starting taxi meter, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And then they charge you per mile or per kilometer or something?
Per meter, and then sometimes in traffic, they put different now, not like before.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
traffic,
I got it.
They will
So
charge
if
you
it's traffic, it's more expensive. Okay, so everybody, when she says if it's traffic, that's a Filipino way of saying if there's a traffic jam. So if there's a traffic jam, that's
yes,
traffic. So in Philippines, there's a certain time of day. What time of day is it traffic? Is it from like 3 o'clock to like 6 or 7 in the evening?
It's like 3 along EDSA.
Yeah, so 3 p.m. to like 7 p.m. is traffic. That means rush hour. That's rush hour.
Yes,
where there's
rush hour.
huge traffic jam. So it's more expensive in the taxi. So is it more expensive than a tricycle during traffic or the same?
Actually, it's more expensive.
The tricycle? Really?
No, you are in a traffic. If Grab car, we have a Grab car here already.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
they give you a fixed price.
During traffic and no traffic, same?
Yes.
Oh, that's
they
cool.
Give you a fixed price.
Yeah,
but sometimes, like if I do Grab car and then Grab car, Grab taxi, sometimes Grab taxi is more cheaper than Grab car.
Yeah,
so I would choose the cheapest one, Grab taxi.
So Grab taxi, is that a motorbike or is that a car?
No, it's a car. It's a taxi also. They will pick you up.
Okay. Yeah, we have Grab here in Vietnam where I'm at. We have Grab. I usually travel by Grab also. So what's the cheapest way to travel? The cheapest and most comfortable way? Is it Grab?
If jeepney, it's kind of like of public transportation, right? Okay. Not like in Grab car, Grab taxi.
So what's jeepney? Because most people don't have jeepney in their country. So what's jeepney? What's a jeepney?
Jeepney.
You want me to show a picture?
Actually, we changed now. Now we have a white minibus.
There's no more gypsy? There's no more jeepney?
No, we still have jeepney. We're trying to
remove them?
To remove that.
Really? Are the people angry because of that, or the people want them gone?
I think yes, because they will earn for the jeepney, right?
So Right, because a jeepney is independent owned most of the time. So a man can own his own jeepney, right? He just has to pay for the route, right? So who's gonna own the white minibus?
Same, Filipino.
Private person or the government or a person?
It's kind of public also.
So,
Still public transportation, but kind of like have aircon inside. Minibus.
But can a man own his own minibus, or does he have like right now a man can own his own jeepney?
Yeah, a man. But yeah, man.
He can own his own minibus.
Yes. And then minibus also. And then now, if you see the minibus here, even woman can drive.
Really?
Yes. I was surprised when I saw. I said, oh, woman can drive now the minibus, not like Jeep. Only men can drive.
That sounds like a good business to be in, you know?
Yeah.
The minibus business in the Philippines. I bet you can make a lot of money if you have like 5 or 10 of them.
Yes. Especially pandemic is really expensive now. The time my car was broken, and then I need to ride the minibus.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really like, oh, I'm excited because after all, I ride the public transportation. But it's cool.
Oh, so I have another question for you. What about amusement parks? Do you have like a roller coaster in the Philippines?
Oh, in Laguna.
In Laguna, there's a roller coaster.
Yeah, Enchanted, and then in Tagaytay. Not really roller coaster, the big roller coaster that you can see in US. Not like that. It's kind of like small.
What about Star City or something like that?
Oh, Star City. During
that?
pandemic, closed. They have
it's closed, but when no pandemic, what is Star City?
Yeah, Star City. Yeah, it's just near in Rojas Boulevard in Manila.
But what is it? What is it?
So many rides
what do
there.
They have?
Yeah, so many rides there. You can ride how they call the roller coaster, and then
so you can.
Yes.
Is it a good place to take your date? Star City, or
you can bring your womans there. They have a horror house. They love horror house. We love horror.
What are the tourist attractions that the foreigner can take the girl to? Like resorts? What are like the most fun resorts? Boracay.
Yeah.
Boracay, Palawan. What else?
Bohol. I've been in Bohol.
Oh, Bohol.
Yeah.
What else? What about Port-au-Prince? Which one? What about Port-au-Prince? Boracay. What about Port-au-Prince?
Pardon, please?
Port-au-Prince.
Huh?
Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince.
Port-au-Prince?
Port-au-Prince.
What's that?
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. It's been so long since I've been to the Philippines. Port-au-Prince, I thought, was a popular resort. Excuse me, a popular island rather. Port-au-Prince.
I think Palawan is
Palawan is Port-au-Prince. Palawan is Port-au-Prince.
Coron. That's a popular.
Where?
Coron.
Coron.
Coron, Palawan. That is most popular here. And then,
So these are all resorts. These are all resorts that people should consider going if they're gonna go to Philippines, right? So everybody, if you watch this video and you want to go to these resorts, you can contact Mile. She can make your reservations for you at all of these places, right? She can do everything for you.
I can guide.
Yeah, you can be a guide.
Yeah, I can tour guide.
Mile knows how to do all of this stuff. So contact her. That's one of the reasons why I asked her to let me have a discussion with her, because I know she can do all of these things. If anybody wants to travel to Philippines, Mile can do it. But what else? What else about Filipinas and dating? Oh, what is Tampu? What is Tampu? What is Tampu? Tampu, what is that?
Tampu. Okay. Example. One example. Okay, tampo is like the example. You say to the Filipina, you say like, okay, we have a cup of coffee around 8 p.m. If you have LDR relationship, right? So just be ready. I will call you at 8 p.m. So we have a cup of coffee for that. And then you're not call her, right? You forgot. So Filipina, they're starting to do tampo. She will not talking with you. She will not talking with you. Yeah.
And then how long does that last? How long does the tampu last?
Actually, it's not really last like 2 days, 1 day. It's just only 1 day. Sometimes like if you say sorry to her and then you tell the reason why, we accept that.
Okay. So, but if not, she's not going to talk to you, huh?
She's not.
So the reason why I brought it up is because a lot of foreigners, when the Filipina does tampu, foreigners don't understand. They don't understand, right?
Yes.
And they think something is really, really wrong. Yeah. Yeah. I told you my friend, right? My friend David, he had a Filipino wife, right? And sometimes we would talk and he would tell me stories and, tampu always comes up. Yeah. So tampu is a big deal. If you're dating a Filipina, you will experience tampu, I think.
That's a really big deal.
Yeah. So what else?
Always make a promise, okay, and then you will never do that.
Yeah.
Because for us, if we say promise, that is a promise. We never break the promise.
Yeah. What else about what else about dating a Filipina? What about the language, Tagalog? So is Tagalog hard to learn, or does the man need to learn Tagalog when he goes to Philippines, or can he go not knowing Tagalog?
You need to learn at least basic words in
like
Tagalog.
What? Like what?
They are talking in Tagalog and then you didn't know, they will kill you. Right? And then they will sell you, they will sell your body, your parts. At least you know, right? You need to know the basics.
Yeah, your kidneys, right? But you know what? I remember back in the day that actually happened to somebody. Back in the day, maybe 2010, that happened to a foreigner in a hotel. I heard about that. A true story, really. They took one of his kidneys in a hotel. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh, so he needs to. So what are the words that he needs to learn?
Salamat po.
Okay, salamat po. And what else?
Salamat po, kind of thank you. And
salamat po means thank you.
Yes. And then walang anuman, you're welcome. That's
walang
a famous.
Anuman.
Yeah. You're welcome. And then magandang gabi, good evening.
Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi. Good evening.
Say it again.
Magandang gabi.
Spell it.
Yeah, that's a really famous.
Oh, how do you say down in Tagalog? How do you say, if you're on the elevator, how do you say go down?
Go down?
Yeah.
Bababa.
What?
Bababa. Going down.
How many? Is it four bababa or three? How many?
Bababa. Tatlo. Three.
Three. Bababa.
Yeah. Three.
I have another question. This is for us who I teach Ibriyat. This is one of the books I wrote. My most recent book. Ibriyat is the original or ancient Hebrew language that the Bible right? The people in the Bible, that's the language that they spoke, Ibriat. Tagalog is very similar to Ibriat because most of the words are ending in a, right? I mean, most of the letters like abaka, we say abaga, da, right? Same in Tagalog, right?
Yes.
So in Tagalog, there are no vowels, right? But when you make it English, you put vowels, right?
Yeah.
There's so many similarities, huh?
Bow, a, e, I, o.
Yeah, but in Tagalog, no vowel, right? But when you want to make it in English, you got to add the vowel. So so if you want to say down, it's ba ba ba.
Yes.
And in my country, there are some people who believe that there's no such language like Tagalog. That they call it baby sounds like or ba, da, ma, ka. They say baby sounds, no such language. But that's not true, right? Because Tagalog is like that. Tagalog is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, so do you have anything else you want to say? Do you want to leave your contact information?
You just.
Or do you want to email me your email address and then I'll,
You can type it if you want. I just give it to you. If someone wants to ask something, what's the good tourist spot here, you know. And then I have a YouTube channel, right?
Oh, so say the name of your YouTube channel.
Actually, my YouTube channel, I will send it to you.
Okay, send it to me and then Mile is going to send it to me and then I'll put it in the description of this video so everybody can get it, okay? Yeah. All right, so anything else, Mile? What would you say about, I didn't ask you this.
Okay.
So let's say the man and the woman, you know, of course, they're together, a couple, and then they, you know, when there's up, there's going to go down. So what should the man expect when they start having problems? Like, how can he hold the relationship together when, you know, when the eventual troubles start to happen?
Okay. So the couples, to make it happy and getting stronger, you need to become like honest, loyal, faithful, and then respect. That's the very important, respect. And then don't being so mean. So sometimes if you're always so mean, very selfish, and then that way the relationship, you know, start to become, you know, broken like that.
So he just has to be understanding. Is that what you mean? He just has to be understanding.
We need to understand each other. That's very important.
Okay, but does he also need to go to the Philippines every several months, or once a year is okay, or how does that? What would you recommend? Once every 3 months? Should the man travel to the Philippines once every 3 months, once every 6 months, once a year? Like what's best to make the relationship work?
Okay, not really once a year. That's not good. Yeah, okay. At least like you can stay here, but if you have work, it's difficult to stay for 1 month, right? So some people, if they have work, like they stay for 10 days.
How many times a year?
Yeah.
More than once a year? Like how many times does he need to go there?
Thrice a year, 4, like that.
2 to 4 times per year. Oh, yeah. Four times. Yeah. No. Four times per year. Wait, 4 times per year. At least 4 times per year. Right? Four times per year.
4 times. But some foreigner, they cannot do that. They always come here to see the Filipina.
Yeah, you know, when I was in Philippines, men from all countries all over the world, I kid you not, especially from Australia, they're going like once a month or once every 2 months or once every weekend. They're flying to the Philippines. And then guys from Europe, like Belgium and especially Belgium, they're like coming to Philippines like once every 3 months. I was shocked. And then eventually they eventually moved and relocate to the Philippines. It's like so many people were doing it. And I was just so amazed at how many foreigners were doing that. And, but for some reason, men all over the world, they prefer Filipina.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy and thankful that we did this video. And I don't know if you remember, but for years we talked about doing a YouTube channel, right? I don't know if you remember that. We talked about this for years, maybe going 3-4 years back. We talked about doing anyway. So we're here on the video now.
Yes.
And I appreciate you so much, Milay. This is the first video that I've done on my YouTube, this new YouTube channel, Dr. Yesapa TV.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hopefully do a series like this of dating in the Philippines. I hope you'll come back, and I hope that I can help you develop a business around dealing with annulment and helping people who want to travel to the Philippines, helping them find a condominium to live in, helping them plan their whole vacation, right? And here's something else you can but definitely help people with. Men want to know that the woman is good for them. So you can advise them, like they can tell you what's happening between them and their Filipina girlfriend. And you can tell them, well, these are signs that she's not good, or these are signs that she's good. And just advise them on the relationship, because there's a lot of sincere men, especially older men, who are looking for like a real relationship for their retirement.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be scammed. So you guys should contact Milay, because she can really help you. And as I develop this series, this video series on Dr. Yesapa TV, you can come back whenever you want, and I'll refer people to you as the channel grows, right? So I'm just now starting right now. So you're my friend for so many years, and I would love to do that for you. And I'm very, very thankful that you came on here to help me, right? Last minute, because I called you.
Welcome.
I called you this morning, right? And I asked you, and you were so kind to do this for me. And even the stuff about the ETA, I asked you to check into that, and you did it. And that was very kind of you that you took time to do that. Not only for me, but for everybody who watches this video. Milay didn't have to do that, but the information that you learned in the audience about the ETA and your connection to the Filipino, because we have a common history coming out of Europe through the Moors. So these would be Yasharala, okay? Yasharala, who were forced into the Muslim religion, who were escaping for their lives, who went to Africa, Philippines, and also to the Americas. So we are really the same people, even though we look different, because Filipinos were raped by the Chinese and the Japanese, and the white people, we were raped, right, by the white people. So we look different, right? But they didn't rape us all. Some of us, we just look like this. So there's no difference between us. Trust me, when you get to know Filipina mindset, Filipina talent academically, also with singing and dancing, you're going to see that they are just like us. Beautiful voices, brilliant students. They're just like us, right? Only they're shorter.
Short. Only Filipino have shorter. Shorter.
So Milay, do you want to say anything before we go?
Okay. Actually, this is the first time interview. But it's okay. But I really like the topic.
Yeah.
It's very interesting topic.
Yeah, this was fun. This was really fun. But this is kind of like how we usually talk, even if we're just talking on the phone. One time we should just have a conversation like we have on the phone one day, right? I think people would think that's good. They might like our conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so let's end the meeting now. I don't know how long we've been going, but I don't know. So do you want to end now?
Yes. And then I'm gonna talk to you later.
Yeah, what time is it there in Philippines?
12:54, so almost 1 o'clock.
So almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Milay. Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
And I'll put her contact information in the video description box when she sends it to me. All right, Milay, Shalawama, top, what's the word? Babush.
Babush.
Yeah, sige na. Bye-bye.